Hello and welcome to this YouTube series. I'm Manish and we are talking about commodities, but all in perspective of what China really seems to be doing, because the last few days clearly belong to China. Every single day in last 10 or 12 days, we have seen one or the other comment come in from China. So China is the world's largest consumer of bulk commodities. China drives liquidity and price formation like no one else. Also, China's influence across global markets, especially when it comes to commodities and various other asset classes, is unparalleled. So China has been trying to secure further or future supplies of commodities through international initiatives like the offshore exchange and supply acquisitions as well. China has been buying almost all commodities, and remember, we did see prices go to multi-year lows in the last year between March to June or July. That is the time then when you had the commodity prices trading at nearly half of what they are trading right now. So if you look at the copper prices in March and April, these prices were at $4,000, $5,000 per ton, and China has been buying since then. Right now the copper prices are trading at around $9,000 to $10,000 per ton. That pretty much is the case across commodities, where we have seen prices of these commodities gain up anywhere between 45 to 150% as well, and China started buying at those very lower levels when the rest of the world was actually tackling COVID spread there. So when you look at the various commodities, and I'll break it down for you for various of them, China accounts for half of global consumption of metals, 50% of copper, aluminum, zinc, 45% of steel, nearly 60% of iron ore. China accounts for these numbers when it comes to consumption. It also consumes half of coal and pork in the international markets. China accounts for nearly 1/5 of world consumption of sugar, wheat, poultry and beef. It accounts for 14% of consumption of crude oil and 5% of natural gas also. It is the major buyer also when it comes to soybean, of wheat, and it's a major consumer of rice as well. So many of these commodities actually tend to move depending on the demand, supply, consumption and import from China, and that really drives them here. So what really has been happening is, since we've seen multi-year highs and near record highs for some of these commodity prices, and that actually turns into the other consumers paying higher for this. So what is happening right now is that China, when it imports, it doesn't consume all of these commodities in domestic markets. It imports all of these commodities, or it produces them, and then it creates value added commodities and exports it to the rest of the world. So while China has bought much of this at the lower price, continues to buy it at current prices also, but because of these higher prices and because the rest of the world also is dealing with high stimulus, everybody is paying higher for these prices, and is the reason even at these current levels people are buying, and this is leading to heating up in commodities. So what China has done is, it has done a crackdown on excessive speculation. China says that they are not going to take manipulation or speculation in many of these commodities. There have been repeated warnings, is what we've seen from local governments, from the regulators, whether it's been from the banking or the financial side. And there are risks that the regulators say is being posed because of the soaring prices in the Chinese economy. So there have been also statements to warning the leading companies to not engage in price gouging. China already is dealing with carbon emission curbs, so the production in China also seems to be declining, and is the reason China has been importing a lot. So as I said, it is really going to be a lot about China when you talk about commodities. But the bottom line here really is that China's economy is twice in size from where it was in 2008, and the new demand patterns really seem to be shifting from traditional commodities to transitional commodities, and we will see support because of that as well. So construction, manufacturing, infrastructure, all of these will look at higher demand coming in sense of China there. And the markets do believe that, yes, we have seen a knee-jerk reaction in case of commodity prices, but the fact remains that the longer term demand is still in place. The mining or the supplies haven't come so quickly, so we are looking at a long-term trajectory for bullishness for many of these commodities, despite what China has said. But the point is that China continues to buy, and that is what is going to be supportive.